Well, good morning, everyone. It's morning here anyway. It's 7 a.m. On the 16th of May, Tuesday, I'm doing this video because I think it's time to get aggressive in this market. And I'll go through those reasons. And I wanted to get this video done before I leave tomorrow to go to the money show. So I'll divert a second or two. For those of you, anyone that's in Las Vegas, I'll be speaking at the money show in Las Vegas tomorrow, May 17th at 6 p.m. I'm pretty sure I'm on the main stage, and there's a networking event after that. So if you're in town or you live there and you want to come by, that'd be great. Back to silver in the markets. I put up this large, long look at the silver market for several reasons. Several people say technical analysis doesn't work. I just really don't even want to hear that argument. Certainly manipulated, when it's manipulated down, it shows up on a chart. Anyway, the point is this. We started here and we are now here, which indicates we could come down to about 15 or so and still remain in a major uptrend line. However, we've shot down here 16 days in a row. We've had our bounces. I'm ready to go long. If I am right, and I believe strongly that I am, that the final low for this major uptrend took place here last year, and we had this great run where we got out the top, and now we've bounced up and back down, we would have a higher low, which is indicated by this yellow mark here, and it doesn't have to hit there. It can, but you can see that, this one didn't hit, that didn't hit, this low didn't hit. I mean, there's several that don't have to hit it. So with all this going on, I am getting very bullish, and I'm going to be aggressive here. So I'm not making excuses with what my computer shows me or any of that. It's what I see. It's what I'm going to do. But, of course, I want everyone that uses any leverage or just gets back in. I know a lot of you are sitting on cash. Hey, David, we're at 1650. Should we get back in? And the answer is yes. Now, before I go on, I'm going to digress into this article from Marco Byrne from Goldcore that is taking cues from both Jim Rickards, who would be considered to the right by my opinion, and Buffett certainly from the left. But both of these gentlemen, and I will put myself in there, are thinking that the cyber war, of course, is a huge thing, and I've been saying that for quite some time. I've not tried to make a big deal out of it. But this is a caution I want to give everybody before entering any of these trades, because no one knows, or certainly none of us know, what's really going on behind the scenes. Who has really instigated this? How far is it going to carry through? What does it mean? And we live in an electronic world, as we all know. So caution is advised. You can read this article. It's on the Goldcore website. What do I think? I don't know what to think yet. I don't have enough data. Last week's commitment of traders, there's enough here that first of all, in the silver market, what we saw was an increase in open interest. The new report comes out later this week, and it reports through today, close of business today, by the way. The reason I'm doing this video now is because the 3-day rule has been hit. I'm doing this one a little differently. I waited for the market to say, okay, we're up 3 days, and I'm cheating slightly, and I'll get to that in a minute. But as far as I can tell, this is a time to go ahead and, if you've saved cash on the side, get back in. And if you want to get aggressive with some type of leverage, it's also the time to do so. Okay, so remaining consistent, my 3-day rule, I said we would want to see the HUI and, of course, the metals themselves. But the stocks would be leading, so we see to the right are the tick marks. We had a close here above the 50-day. We had a close barely above it here yesterday, and right now, real time, we are trading above it. That's 3 days. It's time to go long. This is on close only. It hasn't closed yet. I don't want anyone to miss it. Say, David, you didn't get it down here, or you didn't put your line in at 190. Remember, Pro really wants to not focus on getting in the exact bottom or the exact top. There was this gap here. I want to see it filled, and it's being filled as we speak. So now that that's filled to the upside and all that's going on, I think this is the time. I think it's a safer trade and a more realistic trade. So that's where I'm at on the HUI. I will change it to the weekly. There's one of our members that really likes to see everything on a weekly basis. So there you are. It hasn't done it 3 on a weekly basis, but I'm trading on the 3-day rule, not the 3-week rule. Okay, for silver, I think everyone that's in this market is and involved as much as I am, which means most of you. You know, I had 16 days down, 1620, 1630 looks like the bottom. And then I want to see, you know, draw a line. 1650 was my number. And anything above that, we're above that. We're moving up. There's lots going on. Volume is higher than normal to the positive side. I'm ready. Again, I don't want to get in at the exact bottom. I want to pick a number, and I want it to trade 3 days above that. If you used 1630 for an example, it even ticked below that on that day. It would be one day would be 2 days ago, and then yesterday, and then of course today. So I'm ready. I'm doing it like now. I'm not saying, okay, draw your line and wait. I'm being behind the curve or at the curve, like exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so this is the Kitco chart. This is where we were a couple days ago. And then I will go ahead and refresh this. And we'll see, you know, from 1229 or 1235, silver above the 1650 levels I just spoke about. And again, ready to go here. Okay, there's only a couple more things to talk about, and that is, what is the safest way to make this trade? And in my view, the safest way to make this trade, is on a spread, which means to go long silver and short gold. Doesn't mean we're against gold. We just mean that the gold-silver ratio is going to narrow from this top here at about 76.5 and fill this gap in, which is still open, and come back on down to at least the 70 level, and I think it's going to continue. I think that this major trend down here got upset with the shenanigans, but I don't want to talk too much about manipulation. Yes, I believe it. If you don't believe how much I believe it, read the book, The Silver Manifesto. I devoted a whole chapter to it. Back on track. That's the safest way to do it. Now, I know most of you use stocks, and some use ETFs, and I can't tell you exactly my entry and exit and exactly what month I'm using. I'm using the basis spot. I'm going in now at the market, which I don't normally do. But there's a lot of ways to consider a gold-silver spread. One is, if you are pretty well loaded on gold coins, now would be the time to go to your dealer, take those gold coins in and swap them for silver. And then when we get back down into probably in the 50s or 40s, I'll make that call at the time, you swap that silver back into gold. That's one way. Synthetically, you can do it in the futures market. You can do it with ETFs, double ETFs, triple ETFs. In stocks, it's very difficult to do that, and stocks trade really differently than the metals. So if it were me, I'd probably go long some top silver stocks. But I definitely think the safest trade is to do the spread. I just want to make that very clear to everyone. Same chart on a weekly basis, a little easier to see. So you see these down day yesterday was pretty low volume. Anyway, the point I want to overstate it. This is narrowing here, which is very strong. It looks pretty spread out on a weekly, as it should. I really like it. I think the bottom is in. I think we have got a point where we are. This could be major inflection. I don't want to get too hypey here, but remember, we do have this potential cyber situation. So use your head. Probably good to keep some cash, but I'm going to be aggressive more. I'm not going all of my 25% trading funds in now, but I'm going to go pretty aggressively. So I'm going to finish up with a question that came in from one of our long-term members. I'm not putting it up on the screen to save time, and also I'm having some computer issues with my email today. Hello, David. Hope everything is well. There seems to be two views of thought about the coming gold bull market. One is there is a 2008-like currency crisis, and there's defaults, government defaults. We've been 8 years for that one. The second one is a commodity cycle is turning up, new infrastructure spending, new economic boom, Trump tax cuts. What is your view? It seems like the Morgan Report people are waiting for a crisis. We know should happen, but never seems to start. So really, I've tried to be consistent here. Yes, I do favor the economic crisis scenario, currency crisis. I mean, I'll be consistent there. That's what I expect. We're really in the midst of one. We really never solved it from 2008. But how it manifests depends on your perspective. I mean, we are in it now, really. But what people expect it to look like doesn't meet their expectations, and therefore they say, well, it didn't happen or it hasn't happened or whatever. I do think it is occurring. The cyber thing may be part of it. I don't know. It's too early to tell. But on the other side, I have given some weight to that in the commodity cycle. Silver is really a good time, bad time metal. Gold is more of a doom metal, if you want to call it that, because silver is used so much in industry and high tech and solving problems with the solar situation, which I'm not a huge fan of, as I always say, but it does produce electricity directly from the sun or indirectly from the sun. So there's a lot of reasons for silver to be great in a booming environment. I don't think that's a scenario that lies ahead of us. I favor more 80-20, 80% certain that we're going to see more of a currency crisis, currency war, economic upheaval, and that type of thing. I'm not sure that the infrastructure build out, the tax cuts, and everything that was talked about is going to manifest. Could. But the reason I'm doing this trade now is it looks like things are getting more and more uncertain. And that is the way it is. So I've already gone over 10 minutes. I'm going to leave it there. Again, if you're at the Money Show, look me up, please. And I will be in the Vancouver Writers Conference on the 28th, 29th, and 30th of this month. So if you're in Vancouver, British Columbia, be sure to come by our booth and say hello. And I am out.